Picture this. It's 1932, the Australian outback. A vast army of 20,000 giant birds is marching across the land, destroying everything in its path. The government's response: declare war, and send in soldiers with machine guns. This isn't a movie, this isn't a joke. This is the Great Emu War, and spoiler alert, the birds won. After World War I ended in 1918, Australia wanted to reward its returning soldiers. The government gave thousands of veterans farmland in Western Australia to grow wheat. It seemed like a great idea: wide open spaces, fertile soil after rain. But the 1930s brought the Great Depression. Wheat prices crashed. Then came a terrible drought. Farmers were barely hanging on, and that's when the emus showed up. Emus are huge flightless birds, native to Australia, up to 6 feet tall, weighing over 100 pounds, and capable of running at 30 miles per hour. Normally they live deep in the bush, but the drought pushed around 20,000 of them toward the coast, straight into the new farmlands. The emus didn't come to fight, they came to eat. They devoured crops, trampled what was left, and knocked down fences so rabbits could get in too. One farmer described it as a black tide of birds. Thousands arrived daily. Fences meant nothing to them. They just walked straight through, or jumped over. The soldiers turned farmers had fought in real wars, but this was different. They tried shooting the emus themselves, but there were too many. Desperate, they turned to the government and said, "We need the army again." In October 1932, the Minister of Defense actually agreed. He sent a small military unit under Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery. The team: 2 soldiers, 2 Lewis machine guns, 10,000 rounds of ammunition, and a truck. Their official mission: cull the emu population and protect the farms. Farmers were thrilled. They thought this would be over quickly. The war kicked off on November 2nd. Soldiers spotted a group of about 50 emus and opened fire. A few birds fell, but the rest scattered into the bush like they'd rehearsed it. Emus don't run in straight lines. They zigzag at high speed. Bullets missed. 2 days later, a golden opportunity. Over 1,000 emus gathered at a dam. The soldiers set up an ambush. Machine guns, ready. Fire. Chaos. The guns jammed in the heat and dust. Emus bolted in every direction. Only about 12 were hit. One soldier later wrote in his diary, "The emus have proved that they are not so stupid. They employ guerrilla tactics." The army tried mounting a gun on a truck to chase them down. But emus could outrun the truck over rough ground. Bullets flew everywhere. But the birds kept coming. By mid-November, the official tally was grim. Over 2,500 rounds fired, for fewer than 300 confirmed emu deaths. Some reports said even fewer. The press got hold of the story and had a field day. Newspapers in Australia and even overseas ran headlines mocking the military. One called it the Emu War. Latest bulletin: emus winning. In Parliament, questions were asked. Why is the army losing to birds? Major Meredith defended his men, saying each emu took an average of 10 bullets, if you could hit them at all. By early December, after just over a month, the army withdrew. The official report admitted limited success. The government stopped military operations and switched to a bounty system, paying farmers for every emu beak they turned in. That actually worked better. Over the next years, hundreds of thousands of emus were culled that way. But in 1932, the emus had clearly won the battle. Major Meredith's final comment: "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. They can face machine guns with the invulnerability of tanks." The Great Emu War remains one of the most ridiculous chapters in military history, a reminder that sometimes nature doesn't care about your plans, your guns, or your pride. Today, Australians laugh about it. Emus still roam the outback. And the story lives on as proof that you should never underestimate a determined bird. What do you think? Were the emus tactical geniuses or just lucky? Drop Team Emu or Team Army in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.